4 people are sitting around the table.
See, in this world, there's 2 kinds of people, my friend.
Suddenly, a bomb goes off.
Those with loaded guns.
Now take the same scene and tell the audience there is a bomb under that table.
No, you dig.
So the whole emotion of the audience is totally different.
You dig.
So this episode, I picked a movie called Perfect Days.
I thought it was called Happy Days.
That was Perfect Days.
Oh, okay.
Did you watch the wrong fucking movie?
Did we watch a movie about a dude that cleans toilets?
Yes.
Okay, then yes.
Okay.
I just titled it wrong in my notes.
Okay. Yeah, it's Perfect Days. And
if I spend 2 hours watching a man clean a toilet,
I had high hopes for this movie, but unfortunately, I was very disappointed.
What do you expect from this?
For one, I thought there was going to be at least some amount of story. There was like no story at all. It was like, like the camera just followed this guy through his life. I mean, through at least a small part of his life, and it was, not gonna lie, pretty fucking boring.
It was kind of boring. My final note, I'll just speak it now. I said this movie is basically a multi-week vlog about someone who is at peace with life.
Yeah, this whole thing was just a Japanese Casey Neistat video. That's it.
Yeah. Yep.
But I did have high hopes for this movie because when I first found out about it, I saw like a video on Instagram where it made this movie look really good, and that's what made me want to watch it. And yeah, I was disappointed. The biggest letdown for me was that there was no story. Most movies at least have a beginning, middle, and end. It's like they present you with a problem. Like the meat of the movie is them dealing with the problem. Then at the end, there's a resolution. This movie had none of that. This movie just threw us into this man's life for like a short little window, and that's it. Like, yes, we learned a few things about him, but there was really nothing going on, and I was a little upset.
Yeah. When I was finished with this, I was like, okay, this podcast probably isn't going to be too long because there's not a ton to talk about. I do have a good amount of notes, but like they're just facts, you know?
Yeah, I've got 73 notes, and it was mostly just like writing down what was happening.
Starting off, I'm going to rate this movie a 5.
I was going for a 4.
I didn't mind. Like, I don't want to watch this again, but if someone said you need to watch this again, I wouldn't be that disappointed. Like, I felt like this movie made me feel somewhat happy somehow, even though it was kind of boring. Just like his happiness spread to me, and then I felt happy. Because this man, like throughout the whole movie, this man is just very content with his life, even though his life isn't super awesome. I mean, it's just like he's just happy with what he has, and that made me feel good.
Yeah. The few things I did really enjoy about this movie were the camera work and the depth of field. They filmed this whole thing with a super shallow depth of field. All the backgrounds were so blurry. I love that shit. It just looked so pretty. The camera was a little shaky at times, but that blurry background. Oh,
I thought it was interesting that they filmed the whole thing in 4:3.
Yeah, I did not like that. I
was like, how long is this going to last? And then it just kept going. And I was like, oh, they just filmed the whole movie in some abnormal aspect ratio for movies.
It only changes once when his niece films him
Yes,
on her
it
phone.
switches to 16:9 for like
Yeah.
maybe 10 seconds max.
Usually when, I mean, it's not like a hard set rule about aspect ratio, but typically when a movie is in a 4:3 aspect ratio, it's like it's an older movie, because that's when older things happened, and like the black bars on the top and bottom, like a super widescreen aspect ratio is reserved for like newer movies, and a full screen 16:9 is like for a modern time movie. So it was weird that they filmed the whole thing.
I was thinking
4:3.
Maybe they filmed it on a weird camera that just didn't have 16:9, but they did not. They filmed
cropped it.
They filmed it on a Sony Venice 2, so they absolutely had the ability to do any aspect ratio possible. And they chose 4:3.
Because at first it seems older because of the aspect ratio, but it's current day. This bitch got an iPhone.
They filmed it on an extremely nice camera, so I don't know. I guess it was just creative choice, but I thought it was a little weird.
Yeah, I did not love the aspect ratio, but with the blurry backgrounds, loved it.
You turned subtitles on, right? Or did you just watch?
Yeah,
something
I had
in
to. The
Japanese?
fucking movie's Japanese. Yeah. Luckily,
I didn't have subtitles on, and then they
You
started
didn't?
speaking.
Oh,
I did it at first, and then they started speaking Japanese, and then like auto subtitles didn't pop on. And I was like, "Oh, I need to turn subtitles on, otherwise I'm not going to understand a thing." Even though this man only speaks about 15 words the entire movie.
yeah. He doesn't say much. He's kind of like a Mr. Bean. He's a man of very few words. But so my notes kind of start where the movie starts. The movie opens in a big city, and
It's Tokyo.
Isa Tokyo. No, I can't say that. That's probably racist.
You're canceled.
Yeah. Oh, there's one person watching. It's probably Kira, but that's fine.
Whoever
So this
just type canceled in the chat.
canceled. Did you pick up on his name?
No.
I'm pretty sure his name. I wrote it down.
There's not that many characters in the movie.
Hiraima. That's his
I
name.
just called him older man or he,
Older
like
man.
main character.
So movie opens in a big city. This our main character wakes up and he does his morning routine. Then he gets ready for work, and he drives to a public bathroom, a public restroom. And the first actual note I had was that he's picking up this trash in this public toilet with no gloves.
His bare hands.
Yeah, that's fucking
I
gross.
also wrote that down. I said
like-
uses bare hands to clean and restock restrooms.
Like,
throw up
dude.
emoji.
You've got all these fucking supplies. You're not going to put on some damn
He
gloves.
has gloves too.
Yeah.
Like later in the movie, he's wearing gloves, but I see him picking up trash off like a public restroom floor. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's
fuck
gross.
that.
That is
Yeah.
nasty.
And
Yeah, his morning routine is super simple. He has one of those like Japanese like floor like pads. I don't know the actual name for him, but his morning routine consists of folding that sucker up, putting it in a corner, watering his plants, brushing his teeth, shaving his beard, trimming his mustache, and getting dressed. And then drinking a coffee on his way to work as he listens to cassette tapes.
you know, he has a lot of older I don't know, what would you call him? He has a lot of old people habits. Like, he listens to cassette tapes. He has a radio. He doesn't have like modern technology. His house is very like stuck in the past almost. Maybe that's why they filmed it on a 4:3 aspect ratio to make it seem older.
His hobbies consist of taking care of plants, shooting photos on film, and listening to cassette tapes, and also reading.
Yeah.
And then a couple times a week, he takes a freaking bath at a public bathhouse.
I don't think his apartment has
I don't think so either.
like, wouldn't it at least have a toilet? Like, why wouldn't it have a toilet? How does he
It
shit?
probably has a toilet, but he doesn't have. I don't think he has a shower.
And he really likes nature a lot. And anytime he like takes a break or like his lunch or whenever he has like a moment of peace, like when he's like cleaning the toilets and somebody goes in, he always admires nature. And I feel like sometimes people don't like stop to enjoy, like people don't stop to smell the roses, in their day to day, but he definitely
This man
does.
lives to smell the roses.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, one of the first scenes that's actually interesting is there's this lost kid that's looking for his mom, and
Yeah. That part pissed
so-
me off.
he takes the kid out, and then the mom sees that the kid is walking with basically a sanitation worker, and then the mom gets kind of pissed and like wipes his hand clean with a wet wipe.
Yeah.
Because
And the bitch doesn't say thank you.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, it's different in Japan, but I feel like since that is like considered a low job, that like people don't want to be associated, like normal people. Well, not normal people, but like the common folk don't want to be associated with someone that cleans restrooms for a living. And
Yeah.
that theme is showed multiple times throughout the movie.
Yeah.
So he does that. And then he's cleaning a different restroom same day. And he takes a break for his lunch and he takes some pictures of nature. And he takes a tiny little plant from the ground and like puts it in a little paper pot that he made and takes it home for later.
And he adds
Doesn't
it
go
to
anywhere.
his collection.
He just adds it to his collection. Yeah. And then he goes to a different bathroom, and then he sees.
There's a
this
lot of
old-
bathrooms in this movie.
Yeah, he sees an old man like tweaking next to like a children's play park, and they show
Yeah.
this man multiple times throughout the movie, but like he never
I-
interacts with the man. It just shows this man multiple times.
I also thought that was going to go somewhere, but it doesn't.
Goes absolutely nowhere. But the movie makes
There's-
sure you know.
There's a lot of
This is-
things that go nowhere. You know what? Now, think about it now. Every single thing that happens in this movie, it starts and it leads you to think that something's going to happen, and it doesn't. It goes nowhere. Every fucking thing that happens in this movie goes nowhere.
Yep.
Great. Love it.
I thought this movie was going to be more like he's super at peace, but like he still wants to find someone that to like hang out with and like feel loved by, like some sort of partner. But that's how I thought the movie was going to go. Like he was eventually going to find someone and that would be like his partner. And
Me too.
The movie does not go that way, even though it
Yeah.
introduces multiple characters that could fill that role.
Yeah.
Like for example, the first young girl that stole his cassette tape, I was like, oh, this would be like some weird old man, young woman romance movie,
Yeah.
but did not go that. Like after you see her twice in the movie, once when she takes his cassette tape, and then once when she returns the cassette tape and gives him a kiss on the cheek, and then you don't see her for the rest of the movie.
That's another example of things that go nowhere. Like that whole little dynamic with the girl started and it went nowhere, and it ended.
Or the tic-tac-toe game. That's another thing. It's like,
Yeah.
maybe he'll meet the person he's playing tic-tac-toe with, but no.
That's what I was expecting. I thought, okay, they're gonna finish this game, then they're gonna meet, and they're gonna be like
Friends.
Yeah.
No.
And I thought
goes nowhere.
whenever he has his lunch at that park, there's always another girl sitting like on the next bench eating a similar lunch, being fucking weird as shit. I thought it was her because they showed her more than once, and I thought it was going to be her, but that made it a little weird because she looks a lot younger than he is. He's probably like late 50s.
Yeah, I would guess that.
And that girl looked like maybe 20.
Mid-20s.
Yeah. But then the movie introduces us to his coworker who likes to talk a lot. He's kind of a slacker. And he shows up to clean the toilets too. And he tells the main character to like not work so hard. Like, you're just cleaning toilets. Like, why are you working so hard? But the main character, he even though his job,
he takes a lot of pride in his work.
Yeah, even though his job is so simple, it's cleaning toilets. He is extremely prideful, and is that the right word? Prideful?
Yeah, he's prideful.
Yeah, he does take a lot of pride in his work, and I don't know if he's proud, but he definitely likes to do a good job.
But yeah, they introduced that character, and then there is like a scene that makes you think like, oh, like this is gonna go somewhere, right? Where like they go to a cassette shop because this dude needs money to hang out with this girl he likes, and he's like, oh, let's sell your cassette tapes, and then the main character ends up, he's like, no, I love my cassette tapes. You can't have my cassette tapes.
I don't even know why.
Just gives them some money, and then you don't see that character. Like later in the movie, that character quits the job, and you don't see him. So,
and that whole thing went nowhere.
It goes nowhere.
I honestly don't even know why the main character entertained that thought of selling the cassette tapes.
I don't know why either. I thought
like why go to the store if you already know you don't want to sell them? Why go? What the fuck? And I don't know why he would help his coworker. His coworker is not great.
No.
And I'm pretty sure. So there's a moment in the movie where the coworker meets his girlfriend or a girl he wants to go on a date with. And he has a moped, but the moped won't start. So then they borrow the main character's car. And I'm pretty sure the coworker is the one who put the cassette tape into her purse.
No.
No?
She stole it. Yeah, she stole it.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was the coworker.
No, because it showed. Yeah, from what I remember, she steals it.
Oh. Okay.
And I was waiting. I was like, oh, he's gonna notice, right? He's gonna notice, and he's gonna be like, oh, now there's a plot point. Like I'm gonna go find this girl. But no, that doesn't happen. He never notices, and then the girl ends up giving it back, and he's surprised. He's like, oh, you had this the whole time? One of five cassette tapes I keep in my car? I didn't notice I was missing one of my 5 cassette tapes.
But his coworker is not very nice. He's annoying as fuck, and he's broke. And you want to sell my shit? Fuck you. Yeah. And I wouldn't have given him money because at the cassette store, he's fucking trying to sell his cassettes, and the main character doesn't want to sell his cassettes like a fucking reasonable person wouldn't want to. But he gives him cash. Like, I just, why would you do? I wouldn't.
He's just a nice guy. I don't know what to say.
Then I'm an asshole. Like, go fuck yourself, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, they literally work the same job, and the main character's got more money. Like, what?
There was 2 probably like 20-minute scenes in this movie where it shows him instead of a work day, it's a weekend. Or like a day off for him, and all he does on those days is he does his laundry, he gets photos developed, He listens to music or reads. He goes to the bookstore and buys a new book for the week. And then he goes to the same restaurant every weekend, owned by a lady called Mama. And I was like, oh, maybe that'll go somewhere. Maybe like it'll be like a love interest type thing. That also goes nowhere. So, yeah.
This whole movie spends like, I want to say like maybe 2 weeks worth of days.
It is
with
about
this
2
guy?
weeks. Yeah, it's almost exactly 2 weeks.
And the whole movie is just like day after day after day
Yep.
after day. And when the movie first started doing that, like the first day is the longest because it shows you like every little detail about his routine. And once like the following days continue, it kind of shows the same thing but like shorter. And I was really hoping that the movie would change a little bit because I don't want to
Oh, that's
do
the
the
movie.
same thing every day.
You get to watch 14 days of this man's life. That is the movie. The next somewhat interesting thing that happens is his niece runs away from home and lives with him for like 2 to 3 days. I think maybe 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
2 to 3 days in the movie, he hangs out with his niece. And I was like, oh, maybe that'll go somewhere. That doesn't go anywhere. They hang out, they have a good time, and then the mom eventually comes to pick the niece up. So, and I'm pretty sure he's the one that made the phone call to the mom. Like after they
Yeah.
got done at the public bathhouse, I think his phone call was him calling the mom saying, "Hey, your fucking daughter's here. Come pick her up."
Because
Bitch.
his niece's mom, I mean his sister, when she goes to pick her up, she's like, "Oh, you live here?" I mean, she
Yeah.
didn't know where he lived, so he had to make the phone call because like other than that, like she wouldn't have been found by her mom.
Yep. And then, another thing that I thought was going to lead somewhere was when the sister informed the brother, like, "Oh, Dad is at the nursing home, and you need to
Yeah.
go see him." That he doesn't do anything with that. He does not go check up on his dad for the rest of the movie. He just totally ignores that.
I find that a little relatable because there's a lot of people who are in situations like that where they have like a family member who's sick or in a home somewhere and they refuse to see them. Some people have like memory loss and like don't remember you if you go see them. So some people just purposely avoid seeing that. And I thought that was a relatable moment. Like not to me personally, but to other people. I thought it was relatable.
Okay. After his niece leaves, he gets sad. And then the next day his coworker quits, so he has to work like a double shift. And like throughout the whole movie, he's pretty consistently happy every day. That was the only day where it was slightly different and he seemed upset. But the next day he's perfectly fine and he's happy again. He gets a new coworker, and that's the day he gets his new coworker is the day he finishes the tic-tac-toe game.
And I seriously thought he was going to meet this fucking person who was doing tic-tac-toe.
Yeah.
It was disappointing. I wanted that to go somewhere.
Nope.
But it doesn't.
And then it turns to the weekend, and he goes to he does all his normal weekend stuff, and when he goes to the restaurant that he goes to every weekend, he sees this guy hugging the mama character. So he runs away because it's like he's super antisocial. And then you see the guy confront him later when he's like drinking near a bridge or whatever, and the guy's like, "Yeah, I have cancer. I have cancer. I'm gonna die." And that's why I was talking to her, because I used to be her ex-husband. And then they play a game of shadow tag, and then
that's it.
And then it's the next day, and then the movie ends.
There was a small thing I noted that happens before. It's super like dumb. But he cleans his floor by ripping up wet newspaper, throwing
That's what it
it
was. I
and
didn't know what
sweeping
that
it
shit
up.
was that he was spreading on the floor.
It was newspaper. He wet it in a bucket, ripped it up, threw it, and then swept it up. That's how he cleaned his floor.
I remember that scene.
Which
And
I
just figured, oh, that floor is different than most normal floors. So I was like, maybe that's just how you have to clean those floors.
I've never seen anyone clean a floor that way. That's like, I mean, I wouldn't say it's as good as mopping, but that's like sweeping and mopping in one. You know, two birds with one stone.
He also, another interesting fact about this character that you learn just by watching is this guy owns probably tens of thousands of dollars worth of cassette tapes, and they're all stacked up at his house.
Yeah. He also, when he develops his photos, he puts them into these big metal tins,
Yep.
and he rips up the ones that are shitty
Doesn't
photos.
want,
He
and
only
then
keeps the
throws
good ones.
Yep.
And he has a closet fucking stacked of these boxes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of photos. That's a lot of money to develop photos. I mean, I don't know how much it costs to develop photos in Japan, so it could be really cheap. I don't know.
I mean, this guy spends like no money. So
Yeah.
he spends like a few bucks on a coffee every morning, and then he eats probably a sandwich for lunch. That's also a couple bucks. And then like for dinner, he eats at a restaurant, and they like give him free water or a free drink, and then he pays like this guy spends no money. The only thing he spends money on is a new book every week and like his laundry and maybe the bathhouse.
When you turned on subtitles, did you notice what it said when he went to go buy the first book?
What it's $1 books. Yeah.
$1 books.
The books are only $1. By the
Yeah.
way, so yeah, he spends like no money.
I mean, throughout this whole movie, I don't think the movie shows him getting groceries. I think he eats out every single day.
Yeah.
He does not eat at home.
Another reason why I think that is the one day he came home late. Remember, he couldn't go out to eat. He pulled out the little ramen thing, and like when he opened it, he was like
Oh.
checking it for like mold or something. Like he never eats at home.
I
Yeah,
remember
think he
that.
literally eats out at the same restaurant every day, except for the one day on the weekend where he goes and eats at the different restaurant.
I never put those two together.
Yeah, this man does not grocery shop.
I mean that's got to be a good sign, right? I mean, he's making some money and he can eat out every day. I wish I could eat out every day.
Yeah, I mean, I think
think-
he eats at the same restaurant every day because it's cheap and they know him, so they give him free stuff.
Yeah, I think his spending is just super low that he can eat out every day. And yeah, they give him free shit.
Yeah, he doesn't have a phone. He doesn't have Wi-Fi. He doesn't have a shower.
He does have
He
a
doesn't
phone.
have a vehicle.
He has a flip phone. He does make
Oh,
calls.
okay. He does have a flip phone.
Yeah.
You're right. I forgot about that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the car he drives around the whole movie is a company car, so he doesn't even pay for that.
I think so too. Because
Because I had a different colored plate.
the coworker, his moped is also blue. Like the work uniform is blue, his van is blue, the coworker's moped is blue. But I'm not sure about the coworker and his moped. But I do think it's a company car. And
That's
so when
literally all the notes, though. That's all I have about this movie. It's
I've got a few more things. They're really just not that interesting, but I've got like 10 more notes. When he's still with his niece, she goes to work with him because she wants to hang out with him, and they're sitting in the same park where he usually has his lunch, and he takes out his camera or no, she's taking a photo with her iPhone, and then he takes out his camera, and they're comparing cameras. And then she takes out the same fucking camera, or like a very similar film camera. And she's like, well, you don't remember this? You gave it to me. He's like, what? No, I didn't. I noted that.
Early signs of dementia, just like his father.
Yeah. When after that like sad moment with the bar lady, the mama character,
Yeah.
he buys 3 beers and a pack of cigarettes, which I don't know why. I that part I didn't understand, because why would, like, the bar lady was sad, but why would that affect him? He didn't seem like
I thought maybe
gave a
that he
fuck at
loved
all.
the bar lady. I thought maybe he likes the bar lady, and like he's like,
Oh.
oh, she likes someone else. I'm gonna go
So he-
freaking drink and smoke it up.
He probably felt a little jealous. Like
Yeah,
the
but
person
I mean
that
that's
he was
not
interested in.
explored further into the movie at all.
Mm-mm.
So
And then the movie ends, and he's driving, and he's smiling. And honestly, it's this last shot of the movie is a little creepy. He's sitting driving, smiling, and crying. It was sad. It was creepy, because he's smiling and crying and trying to like hide his emotion, and he's trying to like have a happy face, even though he's feeling so fucking sad, and a little hard to watch. And then the movie just ends,
yep.
and I presume he continues with his toilets
The rest
and
of his days cleaning his toilets.
yeah.
By the way, Japan has some cool ass public restrooms.
Yes, and they're all very unique.
They're all different and they're all cool and like nice, especially the ones with the glass that can like change its opacity.
Mm-hmm.
Those are cool.
There was a non-Japanese person trying to use that bathroom. She's like, how the fuck do I use this? And the dude just shows her. And yeah, the when you turn the lock, the whole glass bathroom, it turns all blurry and you can't see through.
I stayed at a hotel that had a bathroom like that.
Yeah, is that cool?
Kinda.
I don't think
It's
I've ever
kinda
used
cool.
a bathroom
I think I
like
prefer
that.
just normal walls though.
But that was the whole movie, and pretty disappointing, honestly. I don't know where did you watch it? Did you watch it on Disney Plus or Hulu?
I watched on Hulu.
I watched it on Disney Plus, and I don't understand why it's on Disney Plus. Like, this movie is
I think
Kinda
it's on Disney
bad.
Plus because it's on Hulu. Because they're kind of like the same.
well,
they're
whoever
about the same.
agreed for it to be on Hulu, like, what the fuck?
Hulu has some weird movies, so I can see why it's on Hulu.
I don't understand how some movies are just weird and pointless. Like, I was pretty bored throughout this movie, so I'm pretty disappointed about that. But I just don't understand why. Because this, I think when the like opening credits happened, it said it won the festival.
It must have been the only
I
submission.
would have. Who like who gave this thing awards? Why? Thing was pretty good. The blurry background was very nice. Editing good. Music choice good. Literally, I only wish it had a better story. The story just doesn't really go anywhere. That's my biggest disappointment. Yeah, I still give this movie a 4 out of 10. It's pretty damn low.
I'm gonna stick with my 5. It would be a 4, except like it didn't bother me. It just was kind of boring.
While I was watching the movie, I was thinking, Evan's gonna fucking hate this. I was thinking maybe What's Eating Gilbert Grape is a better movie. At least there's a story in that.
No.
No? Are you
I would
serious?
watch this 10 times before I watched What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
I would
That's one of my
much-
least favorite movies. The day that you make me watch a movie that is worse than What's Eating Gilbert Grape, I will tell you.
That's what I thought this was.
No. Dude, What's Eating Gilbert Grape I get upset when I watch that movie. That movie pisses me off. This I was at least like I was serene at least.
I wouldn't want to rewatch Perfect Days, but I would definitely rewatch What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
I know you like that movie though.
Yeah, there's something there's substance. Perfect Days doesn't have that.
The only thing that's good about that movie is Leonardo DiCaprio's acting, and that's it.
I was going to say something. I was going to make a joke, but I'll hold off on it.
Yeah, you're already canceled once this episode, and you might want to hold off.
Yeah. I didn't think you were going to like this movie, but this is probably the worst pick I've had. Out of all 11 picks we've done, this is the worst.
Well, good thing I'm picking next.
Actually, wait,
next
no.
time.
I think I enjoyed this more than The Godfather. The Godfather was worse, in my opinion.
Okay, and let's end the episode now.
Say hello to my little friend.